Hi Sarah, hi Tolulope, hi Emmanuel. Good evening. Emmanuel, thank you. So you can go to the group and let your other colleagues know that we're live now. Am I audible? Oh, okay, okay. Hi Mercy, good evening. You're welcome to day three. Help a friend by going to the group to let them know that we're live now. Hello, Omoshola. It's good to have you here tonight. Good evening. Guys, go to the group and let your colleagues know that we're live now. So, how did our day go today? Today is Saturday. How did your day go? Hi, Olabisi, welcome. It's good to have you here tonight. How did your day go today? For me, it was a bit stressful because I had to run a few errands. So, how about yours? You went for one day, you were at home, you had work, you're preparing for church tomorrow. How did your day go? This number is really low, really, really low. Okay, Olabisi, it went well. Tolulope, it went well. Did anybody go for one day? Omoshola, Hayarinde, it went well. Hello. Is anybody here with me? Your day went well. Okay. Okay. Let me drop a message again on the group. Seriously, you don't want to miss this section tonight. You do not want to miss it for anything. Felix, you're welcome. Good evening. Welcome to day 3 of the Growth Summit. How did your day go today? Emmanuel, you said you went to do town crying work. In fact, thank you. Victoria, good to hear. Good to hear that you're doing well. How are you doing? How? Okay, 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 okay. So by 8:10, we should start. Hi, Alex. It's good to have you here tonight. You're welcome. Hi, Kemi. Welcome. Welcome. Emmanuel said his day was very stressful from meeting to meeting, but here we are in another meeting. But you're cashing out now. Hi, Betty. It's good to have you here. Oh, you were indoors sleeping. That's nice. That's good to know. Hi, Choma. Good evening. You're welcome. Please, as you're joining, drop a message on the group that we are live. Hi, Blessing. It's good to have you here. Welcome to day 3 of the Growth Summit. If today is your first time here, you're welcome. It's good to have you here. So this is the Growth Summit. This is the Growth Summit. I'm trying to drop messages and at the same time, okay. Hello, Kifaya. It's good to have you. You're welcome. Hello, Latifat. You're welcome. Let's keep it coming. As you're joining, go back to the group and let everybody know that we are live. We are live for the last day of the Great Summit. We are live. We are live. We are live. The turn up is really low. It's really, really low. So if today is your first time here, this is the Growth Summit, the global digital conference created to empower professionals in the digital economy with clarity, with confidence, with career direction. And the first edition is spotlighting virtual assistants. And the theme is AI powered virtual assistants, how to stay relevant and increase your value in the year 2026. So you're welcome. It's good to have you here. Hi, Big L. You're welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Please do well to drop a message on the group. Let everyone know that we are live. We are live right now. We are live right now. So on day one, we had our first speaker, which was Marvelous Benjamin. She spoke about, understanding AI as a productivity tool and not a replacement. Yeah, that was what we, that was what, that was the topic for the first day. Hi, the Sun Wonders. It's good to have you here. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. On day two, we have the beautiful Mrs. Blessing Owulari Church, where she spoke about, redesigning your VA services into high value AI enhanced services. Emmanuel, you're always rubbing it off on our faces. Yes, now we know that Marvelous is your coach. We know. Thank you. Hi, Edward. Good evening. You're welcome. Edward from Uganda. It's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. Yeah, Blessing was the energetic speaker. Yeah, we had a very, great time yesterday. We had a great time yesterday. So today is day three, and okay, before I go to that, all of the excerpts from day one and day two are available on all our socials, so do well to check. You can also watch a replay on this YouTube channel, this same YouTube channel, Adebola Ademola. You get to, go back to watch and, relearn. Maybe there was something you missed out during the sessions. You can always go back to it to watch. And while you're doing that, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Adela Gold. Good evening. It's good to have you here. Hi, Aderoko. Thank you. Good evening. It's good to have you here. You're welcome. Welcome to the Growth Summit, day three. So today we'll be talking. We have a topic. The topic before us is increasing your market value and standing out in the global market. So now we've understood that AI is a productivity tool. It's not yet to replace us. We've also, learned how to redesign all our services into AI enhanced services. So it is very important for us to actually understand how to put ourselves out there, how to, increase our market value and stand out in the global market. So that is why we're having this session today. That is why we're having this session today. So before I introduce our speaker, let's wait for like 2 minutes. So while we're waiting, um, what's the name of our speaker for today? Can someone tell me? If you know it, drop it in the live chat. What is his name? Sorry about that. Can you hear me? And can you see me? Sorry about that. Sorry about that outage. I Sister, this should not call me. You can't call somebody when
Just bring up the speaker like that. Bring up the speaker like that.
oh he's hanging here. Yes, oh Emmanuel, the devil is a liar. Can you hear me now? I'm so sorry about that. I'm so so sorry about that. So I want you to confirm that you can see me and you can hear me. I want you to confirm that you can see me and you can hear me. Please, I want you to confirm that you can see me and you can hear me. All right, you can hear me. Can you see me? All right, thank you, Tolulope. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that break in transmission. I'm so sorry. So, without wasting too much of our time, I'll bring up the speaker now. So, I saw him in the comment section. Yeah, his name is Somadina 14. See, when I was still a newbie, like I was just launching into the VA space. Soma was like one big inspiration for me on LinkedIn. Though we never spoke, we never you know how you stalk someone from afar. Like I just stalk him. I stalk him. And one thing that I'm really drawn to about his post, like his content, was the diligence, the excellence. Like you would see it. You don't even have to, you would see it. It was just distinct. It was just distinct. So if I can be saying this about him, and that this is like 4 years back, yes, and he has stayed consistent. He has stayed consistent. So this is one person you should actually listen to. This is one person you should really, really, really listen to. Oh, thank you. I am forgiving. Thank you so much. So let me read his bio, and it comes up immediately. So Soma is, see, don't be deceived by this short bio I'm about to read though. Soma is a virtual assistant, operations manager, and the founder and CEO of Virtual Ends Global, and he supports business owners who are tired of doing everything themselves. He helps take work off their plates without stress or back and forth. It takes time to understand how they work and what their business needs. Soma doesn't just do tasks, he makes sure work keeps moving and gets finished properly. Projects don't get stuck, small things don't pile up. He handles the everyday work that keeps a business running, including follow-ups, coordinations, systems and operations. So 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 business owners can focus on the parts of the business that matter the most. His approach is simple: clear thinking, steady support and no drama. So with a clapping ovation, let's welcome Somadina Nwafor this night. Soma, you have the floor now.
Good
Yeah, you're
evening.
live.
Good
It's
evening
so
to
good to have
you,
you. Good evening.
Adebola. Good evening, everyone, and thanks
Yeah.
for and thanks for joining. And oh, she has gone out again. So yeah, these are one of those times where you have technical issues, but we'll just try to move ahead with speed. She's going to be back now. So I believe everybody can hear me. So if you can hear me, just react to the chat. or send a message in the chat so that I can see that you can hear me. Okay, 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 okay. All right, so she's gonna be back, but I'll just jump in straight to what we have here. Um, okay, where do we start from? All right, so this is the three, right? And you guys have been participating since Thursday, correct? So this is the final day, and today's topic is about increasing market value and standing out to global clients. So my kind of person is I don't like to talk too much because I like to actually show what I'm doing as I like to use like real world scenarios and also my experiences to actually show what I'm doing. So most of the things that we're going to do here, we can, it's going to be about practical or just showing you things that I've done or so that you can actually um, you know, how do I, what's the word now? So they can use it in your own, in your own job or whenever you're working with the client and all of that. So just try to follow and pay attention, right? So I just hope that she's back any moment, or do we want to give her some time? Okay, you're back now, Adebola. Oh, she's out again. Okay, let me just wait for some moments for her to come back on, then I can start with what I have.
So ma,
Adebola.
you can actually go on. I left the scene for you. Do you get?
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought,
yeah,
okay, okay. All
yeah.
right. So I will just share my screen. Um, Let me just share my screen. Okay. If you can see my screen, please let me know. All right. Can you see my screen? Okay. Yes, everybody can see my screen. All right. So I'm going to be talking about um, increasing your market value and standing out to global clients. So that is the reason why you're here, right? So I'm just going to, not waste too much of our time. And then you've already known a little bit about me. So a virtual assistant, and I've been doing this thing since 2022 and all of that, and I've been helping quite a lot of people. So because we're talking about standing out to global clients, I was just going to show you some of the global clients that I've worked with. So it's not just about, some. This is actually somebody that is talking to is actually somebody that have actually or is working with global brands, and you can see some of them here. And then tonight, we're going to talk about how to communicate AI skills clearly on LinkedIn, how to demonstrate results instead of listing out all the AI tools, using AI to improve response time. So we're actually going to, do some a live demo. Like I remember I said we're going to be doing mostly of practical, and then I'm going to be sharing screens of my communications and just plenty things, but just keep just follow. And then also building credibility as a forward-thinking VA from Nigeria and Africa at large, right?
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. I didn't know that um something happened. So maybe I have to start again, right? So let me just share my screen again. So please confirm if you can see me and if you can hear me. All right. I think I'm back on now. So let me just continue. So this is where I stopped. I don't know if this was where I stopped, but let me just continue from here. So I was saying something about how do you position yourself so that when a client anywhere in the world is looking for a virtual assistant, they pick you, right? So this is the essence of today's workshop or today's live. So I'm going to pick you. I'm going to walk you through everything and all of that. So just pay rapt attention. So like I was saying before, the first place that or the place that we're going to pay close attention today is your LinkedIn, and then, but the first thing that you're going to notice for your LinkedIn is your profile. Your profile is your storefront. Anybody that if a client walks in and your profile is empty, they're going to they're not going to take you serious. So how do you stand out with your LinkedIn profile so that when somebody is looking for a virtual assistant, they're actually going to take you seriously. So the first thing it's more or less like, let's say, your your packaging or the way you bring out yourself. So how do you do it in a way that when somebody is looking for a virtual assistant, they pick you? So I'm just going to use my profile as an example so that I will show you what your LinkedIn profile should look like, or what a high quality LinkedIn profile should look like, and how they can actually take you serious or not when it comes to your LinkedIn profile. So this is my LinkedIn profile. So if you can notice here, of course, you can actually come to my LinkedIn profile and then check it later by yourself, but I'm just going to walk you through what is here. So the first things that people look, or for example, on LinkedIn, when they come to your profile, it's your banner, your headline, and your about section. Sometimes they can look at your feature sections, but these are the things that grab attention. So if somebody comes to your profile and they don't grab attention your profile doesn't speak to them in 6 to 7 seconds, they just skip. Just like how hiring managers, if your CV is empty or is not looking like, I think I saw somewhere that hiring managers look at CVs for like 6 seconds, and if it doesn't speak to them, they just skip it. So how do you make it in a way that when somebody comes to your LinkedIn profile, is actually is looking, the person will be like, yeah, this person knows what he or she's talking about, right? So, and that is where you should spend like most of your time. So, over the years, this was not how my LinkedIn profile was, but I kept changing it based on based on clarity and based on experience and the things I've gotten over time, right? So the first thing you should do is your banner, right? So your banner has to be, it has to be professional, right? So you can talk about what you do. You don't just go and be listing virtual assistant, operations management, customer support, carry all these things and list there. It has to be excellent. I'm just, so that people can take you seriously. You have to be excellent. I think that's the word, excellent. You have to be excellent from start to finish so that, yeah, you understand what I'm talking about, but just pay close attention. So in my case, I have no fluff, no drama. I run the execution, no just tax. So if somebody comes to this LinkedIn profile, they will be like, okay, they will want to actually scroll down to read most of other things that is there, right? So that is your banner. So your banner is more like a billboard. And billboards, if you don't grab attention, they are going to look away. So it's just like an ad. The first few seconds of an ad, if it doesn't grab attention, people skip. But if it grabs attention, they want to watch, the remaining parts of that ad. So that is why you should take your LinkedIn profile seriously. I know I'm dwelling on LinkedIn profile seriously because I've seen a lot of LinkedIn profiles and they are nowhere to be, they are below par. And that is where most times, even if you send people messages, when you send somebody messages on LinkedIn, the first thing they go and do is they go and check your profile. And if it is not looking nice, they may just, this person doesn't know what he or she is doing or something like that. But if you want to stand out, your LinkedIn profile has to be professional and it has to be standard, right? So your profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio, but something very professional and quality, right? And then the main thing is also your headline, right? So in my own, I wrote helping business owners offload work without friction or back and forth, virtual support and ops management. It's very short, right? If you can make it short, that would be nice. But then one thing about LinkedIn profiles is you don't get it perfectly most of the time. You just need to have something that is very good and presentable. And this is where AI comes into place. You can actually use AI to help with your LinkedIn profile. Of course, we're going to dwell into that later, how you can use AI, or how you can actually use AI to help you, do some of all these things. But then you can actually use AI to draft your LinkedIn profile, give it a context, give it one thing with AI is it works well with context. If you don't give it context, it's just going to be generating generic things for you, right? So I said your banner has to be excellent, and then your headline, which is also very, very important. Don't go and be listing all the different tools that you use on your banner. You can be saying you don't need to be listing ClickUp, Notion, all those things. Don't list them, right? We'll still get into about tools and results, but your LinkedIn headline, it has to grab attention. Your banner has to grab attention. Then your other sections, which is your about has to you have to your about section has to be written in a way that it's more like you're writing a copy for an ad, or you're writing a marketing. Don't just, how do I put it? Don't just write something that comes to your mind, or don't just go and be writing virtual assistant. I did school, whatever this thing. On LinkedIn, nobody cares about, especially as a virtual assistant, nobody cares about the school that you went in your university, right? Because that is not what is going to help them get the results. So you don't need to talk about your school, or you whatever, or your NYC certificate on as a virtual assistant on LinkedIn. You understand? Of course, you can put it as part of your experiences, but in your about section, where you're writing about, here you're talking about your about section should be a place where you talk about, you speak to their problems, you talk about the problems they are facing and how you can actually solve it as a virtual assistant. So that is what your about section should be. It should be about their problems and your solution, right? So that is what your about section should be. Because of time, I'm not going to, but then you can actually come and see what is here. Then you can have other customizations, like these ones are not necessary. These ones are, optional or add-ons. But then another part you can also have here is your feature section. So your feature section, it's going to be where you add your CTA. That's like your call to action, so that when people they're interested, they look at your profile and they're interested in your services, they can actually come to your feature section, and there's something that they can click through to, start working with you. In my case, I have like a calendar here, where people would actually click here and then they can schedule calls with me, and then we can talk about what they need and stuff like that. Just a way to capture leads, and then we can, just like onboarding processes, they get on a call with me, and we can talk. So that is one of the ways to actually stand out. So your profile, if you see my profile here, you will notice that it's actually grabbing attention. I know, I know, because people have told me. And then one other thing you should have is you need to have like you need to have branding, because your LinkedIn profile is also your brand. So you need to have branding. So you should not be having you should not be having like your brand assets needs to be on point. If you're going to be using brand, I don't go and be using of colors, or different colors and combine and put. Your headline should not be white somewhere, and then your feature section should now be, you get what I'm trying to say. So let the branding or your branding be consistent everywhere. So you can notice here the banner, and then also the feature section here, it's the same branding style, right? So this place is, like I said, it's a place where you can put your CTA, either for people to book a call with you, or if you have a form where people can actually fill so that they can start working with you, you can also add it to your feature section, right? So, but you can, for example, now here I have like in my type form. So I have two places where I capture leads in my type form, and also when people book to click to book a call with me, right? So that is about you. I will not dwell most about your experience section, but all these things are, you can also keep them updated, right? But then based on my experience, the places that captures the most attention or that stands out is your banner, your headline. This is your headline, and your about section. And then also, if you have like a CTA, you can add as your feature sections. Don't use your feature section as a place where you post your high performing posts. While it is good, but does it actually help you to generate business? Like I said, you can have your feature section. I mean, you can have your calls here, where your Calendly or your booking link or whatever. You can have it here, or a form that you can use to capture leads. Because, like I said, whenever you message somebody, whenever you send somebody a friend request or a connection request, the first thing they do is they look at your profile, and if it speaks to them, they would come to actually be like, hey, they want to take you seriously, or they'll be like, okay, yeah, this person is actually serious, or he or she knows what he or she is talking about. So they want to give you that audience to actually talk about, or listen to you. So you have to make sure that your LinkedIn profile, it's on point, right? You might not get it if you're just starting out, you might not really get it in a way, but the more you're on LinkedIn, the more you see other profiles, the more you see other people's profiles and what they look, and the more you compare and contrast, you will be able to actually tailor your LinkedIn profile to stand out as well. Me, I didn't figure, my own has been based on me being in the system and being here for a long time. That's how I've been able to, update it over time, right? Maybe by next year, this will not be what is on my LinkedIn profile, but yeah, you get the idea. So that's about your LinkedIn profile. So that's like the first thing. So you have to make it in a way that it grabs attention under 6 seconds when people look at it, right? Because even if you message anybody, be like, hey, I'm a virtual assistant, the person already knows, because the person must have viewed your profile, right? So that's about your LinkedIn profile. So let's move on with our slides. Okay. Now, show results, not tools. So if you want to stand out, if you want people to actually, you want to stand out in the competition, you have to show results, not tools, because people are not interested about how many tools you know. They want to know how you can be able to help them, right? Because they are looking for solutions. So if you start talking about tools, they'll just be like, this one is just one of them, right? So stop, like, and then you have to stop telling clients the tools you know. Show them what you have done. Clients don't pay for tools, they pay for results. Clients don't pay for tools. The clients that is hiring you is already using the tools that you're talking about. They may already be using the tools that you're talking about. So you actually need to, they pay for, if you can actually produce results for them, right? So you can be proficient with all the work tools that you can know about, but what are you using those tools to do? Are you using it to solve problems? Right? So that is how you should be thinking. So it's not about the tools, but about the results, right? So just pay close attention. Now, here's another thing. You don't also need to master every tool. You need the confidence to figure things out and deliver. Me, I don't know all the tools. In fact, I don't even know. Like, we're in an AI age where tools are evolving. There are tools that I don't even know that exist, right? There are tools that have already been existing, correct? But then I don't need to master every tool. As a virtual assistant, there are tools that there are fundamental tools that you should know how to use, of course. Google Workspace is an example, because that is like your first starting point. Every other tool can be learned, while you're doing the job. And also don't be scared about tools because there are resources everywhere to teach you how to use tools. So it's not about the tools. What you need to have is the confidence, right? Me, I didn't just know how to do all the things I know how to do now, but because of the fact that I had the confidence to actually accept the job, because I know that when I get the job, I will be able to learn that thing. I'm somebody that is very tech savvy, so I know how to use. I tend to learn how to use things very fast. Correct. So you need the confidence to actually deliver, figure things out, and deliver. I'm just going to give you an example from what one of my clients said when it comes to me tools. So I sent a form because I like to give my clients forms to fill so that I just like to get survey from them to think about, okay, what do they think about my relationship with them. So one of the questions I asked them was, what are the were there any features, methods, or qualities that you found from me to be particularly valuable? And the person said, willingness to understand my business, my product, my customers, openness to try new tools and take on additional tasks. So you see, openness to try new tools. So when I joined his business, there were tools that I didn't know how to use, but I could actually learn how to use those tools. So you could see tools are evolving. So, but you being open to learn tools as you go, and you being able to have that confidence to be able to be like, hey, I can actually do it. Give me the job, I can do it. You are going to be resourceful to find out how to do that particular thing. That is what stands you out. But if you just you reject the word, I don't know how to do it, where is now the growth mindset? So you need to have a growth mindset when it comes to work as a virtual assistant, because work is changing. The way we do business is changing, and it is changing very, very, very fast, right? So I just wanted to show you this particular aspect, but or about me, because I didn't quite know all of them. But once I hear about a particular tool, I've already started watching videos or starting to learn how to use that particular tool, right? So let's go back to our slides. Now, the next one is for example, now this is an example. Somebody that just like a distinction, somebody that is saying I'm proficient in Notion, Slack, and ChatGPT, and somebody that said I set up a client's operations system in Monday.com and cut their weekly planning time from 3 hours to 45 minutes. You would actually see that that person that is talking about results is going to be the one that is going to be hired. Because okay, you're proficient in Notion and Slack, so how are you now going to use it to help me? And ChatGPT, everybody uses ChatGPT. So how are you going to use it to solve problems? That is where the case is. So stop talking about the tools you know. Start talking about how you are able to solve. And one hack I can give you, that has helped me is when I'm talking with a client, right? When I'm talking with a client or when I'm talking with a prospect, correct? Maybe I have not used that particular tool. I give AI my chat history, my conversation. In fact, I give AI I go to the person's profile. I will download. I will copy the person's about section, the person's headline, what the person's business is about, and then tell the person, this is a new prospect, right? And this is the person's bio. This is what the person does, and this is who the person is. I send this person a message, and this is the message I send this person. I'm trying to give AI a context, right? I'm driving her somewhere. So the person is asking me questions. As he's asking me questions, any question that I don't find, I don't know the answer immediately, because one, you also need to be professional when you're talking with these people. You need to talk in a way that you are very confident. Your confidence needs to show in your communications as well, right? So that is one thing you should also keep at the back of your mind. So I give AI the context, and be like, okay, this he asked me this question. How do I answer him in a way that is going to make me look very confident or something like that? And AI will give you the response you can answer him. I've used it in most cases and it has helped me. So we're in the AI age, and AI is not there to replace you, because there are things that need human. In fact, as a virtual assistant, you need AI because it's going to help you gain time. It's going to be something that produce more work, like you're going to be more efficient with it. Correct? So you should have that at the back of your mind. So don't stop talking about the tools, but start thinking about how you can be able to, sound confident and talk in a way that solves problems, not talking about the tools you know. So talk if you don't have results or if you don't have anything to show for how to talk about results, talk in a way that shows that you know how to solve problems. So that is one thing you should keep also at the back of your mind. Now, another way you can also stand out is your recommendations and testimonials. Let other people sell you. Do recommendations and testimonials do the selling for you. When other people say you are good, clients believe it. So you don't need to talk too much. You don't need to talk too much about yourself. When people give you reviews, I take much time to collect, reviews and testimonials and recommendations for my clients, because I know that that is more like a social proof for me. I collect it, I post it on my LinkedIn, I have it as my about, I have it on my recommendation section on LinkedIn. I can also have it as a Google Form survey where clients fill, and just like the one I showed you as an example. So let me just show you recommendations and testimonials are a very, no matter how small it is, even if it's on WhatsApp, they sent you the recommendation on WhatsApp or on Slack, you copy it out somewhere, screenshot it and save it, because you're going to need it. It's going to come in handy for you when you're talking with a client, right? For example, this is my I'm just give you one example of how these recommendations and testimonials. So this is one. So this is one of my clients' communications, right? This is LinkedIn my DMs. So this person is telling me that I need an ops manager, not just a VA, right? I know you work on tax, but do you have any experience running the show behind the scenes? So this was what one of my client now told me about. So I told him, yes, I love it. That's exactly that's exactly how I love to work, and that's part of what I'm doing for my current clients. I just told him what the things I do and all of that. You could see my response. So it was not just I had to give a very good response, and at the end I told him, if you would like, I could share specific reviews on our work based on all of this. So this is me talking about my reviews and testimonials, because me, I don't like to talk too much. I like to actually show you what people are talking about me, so that you can now use your church mind and decide, is this person good for me? And most of the times when I show them my reviews and recommendations, they actually end up working with me, right? Or even if they don't end up working with me and the person will collect I will collect your WhatsApp number. We'll be talking on WhatsApp. One day you're going to hire me. Do you understand? I've had scenarios where I exchanged contact with this prospect in over a year ago, and then we've been talking, and before you know it, the person came back this year to say he's ready now. Why? Because the person has seen my reviews and recommendations. So I asked him if you would like, I could share some specific reviews on our work based on all of this. And he said yes. And then I said, here is a PDF with some reviews. Let me know what you think. I didn't speak too much grammar. I just sent the person my reviews and recommendations. And that was when the person now developed interest and was now sending me voice notes and all of that 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 and all of that. And then we had a call, and that was how we started working together. So you can see that you don't need to talk too much when it comes to reviews and recommendations. They will do the job for you. Also, you don't one other thing you also don't need to do is you don't need to go and be farming recommendations and reviews from your fellow. One thing I see people do is they go and their fellow colleagues are writing reviews for them on LinkedIn. It's nice to have those things, but are you collecting it from the right people? That is one thing you should also ask yourself. So you could see that the person looked at all those things, and mind you, what the person was looking at was this particular thing here that I'm just showing you, these particular reviews and recommendations. So they take you seriously once they see that, oh, this person has actually done this particular job for somebody else. That means the person can help me in my own business, right? So let's just continue. Okay, now I'm going to show you um, live demo. So I'm going to show you how to use AI to solve everyday client problems and requests. So we're just going to do a little bit of practical. And I'm just going to show you some basics, not the deep ones, but Yeah, you get what I mean. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up a client message. No, not here. Okay, so so this is my client, and he's telling me, I don't know if you can see this WhatsApp message. I say he's telling me, do you think you could answer my emails, especially from participants from the workshop this evening? And then also having just seen the feedback from, are you able to start making the legacy changes based on our feedback? So this was a client request. So there are some parts I've done, so I might not do it afresh, but I just want to show you what I did and how I used AI to actually help me do solve this particular problem, right? So um, okay. So on the first request, which is to answer emails, especially from participants, I've not answered. So this particular person is, we work on. He's a consultant, so he has like workshop and different workshop and all of that. So they are participants from the training. So he usually handles responding to those participants, their questions and answers and all of that, and results. We give them homework, they do, they submit. So we're supposed to give them feedback and all of that. So in this case, he was telling me to help him answer some of the emails that were coming through. So the first thing, okay, so let me just give you an example. So this was one of those requests, which is to respond to, this was a message, good day. Like the task was to respond to this person, right? And now the first thing you should think at the back of your mind is you need to give AI context, like I said before, right? So I need to respond to this person, but I need to make sure that I'm not responding from my head, right? I need to make sure that the responses that I'm giving is the response I'm giving is actually in the person's voice, my client's voice, so that it sounds the same. It sounds as if it was my client that responded to that particular request. So the first thing I did was, I've actually done this task, but I just want to show you what I did. So I told AI, so there are responses that usually sends to participants when they submit a 360 survey and this assessment. I will give you an example of two of the responses he sent below, right? So what I did was I gave AI the responses that he has given to other people, right? So this was the response, this was the response one, this was the response two, right? Okay, yeah, this was response two. Okay, so what I did here was, so there was, what I sent AI was, I gave AI because I'm trying to give AI an example of the responses as that my client has given. So I gave AI the question that the participant sent and what my client responded. I gave AI two contexts or two scenarios, right? So the first participant with the question and Chris response. The second participant with their email and Chris response, right? And then and now said, do you understand the context now? Remember I said you have to give AI context, because so that it can give you something specialized or not in a way that is generic. So he told me yes, he understands and all of that. So now I now give the person, this is when I'm now giving the AI the prompt or something to reply, right? So I now give AI the the actual emails I actually want to get responses from. So I sent the response, and yeah, so the AI did the job for me. So this was the response that the AI gave me, and what I just need to do was I needed to fine tune this email in a little bit more. I removed all the em dashes, all these things that looks like AI. I don't like to have this thing in my responses. I like to remove them. So I don't just copy and paste because AI has given me the response. So I just copy it and paste it. I still need to go through to make sure that everything that is here is actually relating to that particular client. I also need to change the name. Of course, these ones. I also need to change the name, high name to the actual name of the person. So you can see that it has actually saved me time, right? So I didn't need to go and be thinking of the responses. I've actually done all these things in less than 5 minutes, or let's just say 10 minutes, because I was copying and pasting. Do you understand? So this is one. Now, the second one is, if you notice here, the second one is feedback from Alessandra. If you can start making changes on layer C on layer C. This layer, just don't be worried about the language. It's something internal. So we're designing workshops, like we're designing some documents, training programs, files, and all of that. Courses, we're doing courses. So in this case, we have given the client the resources, so they have some feedback for us. And the feedback was it would help to add transcripts or collapse accordions for audio or video voiceover sections. So this is one, and the person said a lot of our employees are not English native. So they want to have transcripts in the audio that we created for them. So this was one of the tasks. And I want to show you how I will be able to solve this particular problem, right? So this is the course, right? So here, this is one of the tools that I got introduced to when I started doing the work, right? Or when I started working with this person. I didn't know how to use this particular tool, but now I'm very proficient in it, and I have added that tool as part of my, tools that I know how to use. So this is where we do design a course. So um, so the thing here is the feedback that we got was these audio sections.
Next, explain the impact. This connects the behavior to why it matters for the client, the team, or the outcome.
The impact was that they stayed hesitant and we didn't build the level of trust with.
Okay, I don't need to play it to the end. But then the feedback, what this person is talking about was, this person said we should add transcripts or collapsible accordions for audio or voice over video sections. So this person wanted us to add transcripts to this particular thing here, right? So these are these are audio sections. These are things that we created, right, for this course. So they wanted transcripts. So if you notice here, let me just go back. Okay, so if you notice here, let me just show this one. We have transcript. I've already done this, but I just want to show you what I did here. So we already have the transcript here. So when people are actually following through this course, they will be able to see the text displaying on their screen. So we cannot see it now because I'm in the develop or the admin mode or what I'm doing, right? So yeah, so we're going to add transcript to uh, this particular section. So if you notice here, there is not here, not this one. Sorry, situation. Okay, edit transcript. Where is that one? Sorry. Okay. Okay, now, like I said, we want to use AI to solve this particular problem. I don't need to go and be listening to this
Start by
thing.
naming.
I don't need to go and be listening and be typing. I can use AI to actually help me produce this thing in no distant time. So let's use AI. So the AI I have here is I have a Chrome extension that helps me to transcribe audio to, sorry, there's that thing. So I have an AI that helps me to transcribe audio to text immediately. So what I just need to do is I just need to record whatever it's playing here, and then the AI will do this work. So for example, it's listening, it's recording now, so I'm just playing it.
Start by naming the situation clearly. This helps the other person understand when and where the feedback relates to. It anchors the conversation in something real, not abstract.
I'd like to give you some feedback about the presentation you delivered yesterday in the sales call.
So it has recorded, so it's trying to give me the transcript of this particular audio section. Correct? So just give it a moment. No, for my hand, this AI. Okay. Now you can see here that it has actually given me it even picked up his recording now. So you can actually see here that if you look at your right, you can see the transcript that this thing has given me based on this thing I just did now. So it just told me, um, start by naming the situation clearly. This helps the other person understand when and where if it. So this AI has actually given me the transcript, even with the timestamp of the that when that particular thing has said. So what do I just need to do? I just need to just copy this thing as text. I just copy it as text, and then I just come here and then edit it as a transcript. Of course, I didn't clear that one. I just paste it here. And that was how this problem was solved. So you can see now that there are sections that have 2 minutes audios. We had plenty sections. So I didn't just want to start using my pen and biro and be writing all these things as I'm hearing. I just needed to play the audio, recorded the audio, and then finish. I just copied and pasted directly on my Chrome browser, nothing much, nothing less. And I'm done with that task. So you can see now that it helps to improve efficiency. One other thing is because of why I did this was because the current plan we had on this tool, they did not have we did not have the AI plan. So I had to check for things, something that could help me to complete this particular task, right? So that is one of them. Now, there's something else I want to show you also, which is when it comes to using AI, that audio that you heard was AI generated. There were not two people talking that I knew. I generated that AI, that voice, for that particular scenario. So, and where I used to do that was on 11 Labs. I know you must have heard of 11 Labs. 11 Labs. So, um, and I didn't just do it in a way that is generic. I just pasted the prompt and allowed it to generate like that. I had to add, if you notice here, these are speaker cues, or just doing it in a way that so that it will come out excellent. If I generate this thing now, for example, let me say generate speech. I've already done all this thing, but so that we don't waste too much time.
Here's the core principle. You're never speaking to just one person. Every interaction message to the wider team.
I'm
Not
sure
through
you
what
understand. I'm sure you understand the context now, right? So AI can help you improve your efficiency, but you know how to you should know how to use it very, very well. Because if you don't know how to use it very, very well, it will just be producing generic things for you, right? So that's just the summary of everything. It can help increase your speed and efficiency and response time and your delivery. It makes your work faster and easier, right? So you have to integrate it in every area of your work. There's nothing that, in fact, I I have whenever I have a new client, I I create a new AI account for that particular person because I want to make sure that all the context and everything that I am communicating with that person, I'm using AI has the context and background and everything as well. Do you understand? So that is one side. And then something else that can also help you is especially on LinkedIn as well. When you want to make your posts and all of that, like I already told you, you need to have context. And then I don't know if you know something about this ChatGPT where you can have projects. You can create projects for everything. I don't know if you have that option in your ChatGPT, but then if you create project, there's a place called sources. I don't know if you've checked something about it. Sources is a place where you send all the you send all the context about you, or what a particular project is about, so that whenever AI is giving you responses, it's giving you based on what you fed it. So it is specialized, and it pulls information from that particular source or context that you're trying to get information for. So in this case now, this is like I use AI to write my LinkedIn content. And you heard when Adebola was saying that my content is actually unique. Why? Because I don't just go and write content. I have, I have, where AI pulls. I gave it context, enough context, and I'm always updating the context. You can see I have my testimonials. I have things about me. I have my, a lot of things here. So you can also have it as well, so that you can improve the quality of your work. So that because AI gives you what you give it, and if you don't prompt it very well, it will bring out rubbish. or generic things, not rubbish, but generic things for you. So you want to put in a way that it's actually very nice, right? So that's why you need to have um um context. You need to give it context. It's not only ChatGPT, you can also use Claude as well, right? So you can also, this is Claude, right? You can also use Claude. So it depends. So there are different AI for different things. All of them do the same thing, but there are ones that are better than the others, when it comes to output for a particular thing, right? I hope you're following, Sha. So let's go back to our slides. And then, um, so now, one thing you should know is that your location is not your limitation. That you're in Nigeria or Africa does not mean that you cannot work with clients from anywhere, right? Because me, I have worked with people from over. I work with people. I work with clients in Canada, US, UK, Croatia, Serbia, Netherlands, Portugal. I work with people from different areas. So, and they don't even mind the fact that I am Nigerian. Why? Why is that possible? Because of the positioning, the branding, and the professionalism that you display on your social profile. So if you're just taking your social profile anyhow, they'll treat you anyhow, right? So, and also, it's also, like I said before, it's about how confident you are to sign clients. You can work with anybody and from anywhere. You also you need to be confident in your ability and what you have, and you also need to present yourself well. So that you're in Nigeria does not mean that you cannot sign clients, right? Now, in fact, what can actually help you is your positioning. How I work with, when I started out, I said it to myself that I didn't just want to work with Nigerians, right? I didn't want to work with people from Africa because in my mind, these people cannot pay me based on the things I have in my head or based on the things that I want to, or based on where I'm going. Basically, I didn't want to work with people that are both of us are earning the same currency. I wanted to earn foreign currency, right? So, but then because of that, I was not hanging out with Nigerian creators, right? Because I wanted to work with people from those my desired locations from US and Europe. I was not hanging out with Nigerian creators. I was hanging out with creators from those sides. So you could see I was making friends with, building relationship with people from different places. Of course, I had colleagues and counterparts of people that were from Nigeria and Africa, but they were not my focus. In fact, I made it intentional to network primarily with those people from. You get what I'm saying, and that has helped me. So you could see that I was always on their LinkedIn posts. Whenever they make posts, I always comment. I'm on their comment section. In fact, I have engagement lists that I use to comment on their posts. So I'm always there. And if I find something funny, I'll send them a DM. And that is how, you stay top of mind. So I when they post, I comment on their posts. When they just trying to be on their faces every time. And whenever they need a VA, you are always on their faces, they will remember you. Do you understand? I had somebody that, we've just been talking casually on LinkedIn, and she needed help, and she came and met me. She as at the time we started talking about this 2023, but she needed help 2025. So you can see it's all about, you need to actually meet them where they are. So if you're in Nigeria, you're trying to get global clients, and you are every time the people that you are making friends with or connecting with or commenting on their posts is people within your circle, people might not actually reach out to you. Why? Because they can't see you, right? So you actually need to be where they are. So if they make posts, if they make posts, you have to go to their posts and comment. The truth is, you making posts on their you making comments on their post is a way of advertising yourself. Because if you comment something, your name and your headline will show. And if it's something that interests them, they will go and look at your profile. And if they need help, they will message you or they will DM you, hey, I need this kind of work, or I need this help, or I need something like this. Do you understand? So You can support your friends, you can support your colleagues from Nigeria and all of that, but your priority, if you want to get global clients from anywhere, you need to actually hang out where they are. You don't need to be scared, or you feel like these people are high up there and all of that. While you're on LinkedIn, think of yourself as a professional. You're a service professional. A lot of problem that people have is they think that this person is oga pata pata or something like that. So they place themselves, we place themselves some kind of lower and then the other person higher. I don't do that. I don't even call my clients sir or ma. I don't even do that. I call my clients by their names and they answer, they call me by their name. Why? Because I understand I'm a professional. They are a professional. Both of us are on the platform to render service. So you're hiring me as a service provider. I am working for you as a service provider. Fine and good. So that also, screams your value. But if you're the one that is, you're doing anyhow, they will take you anyhow. Do you understand? So that's one thing. So you need to actually, like I mentioned before, confident in your ability, and you also need to hang out where they are. Because if you don't go to where they are, then where can they see you? And that also relates to you, the kind of people you send connection requests to. Are you sending connection requests on LinkedIn because you want to grow your following from 100 to 1,000? Or you're sending connection requests to people because you want to send out prospects or people you think that can hire you? Me, one thing I did not do on LinkedIn, or one thing I don't do on LinkedIn is me trying to be an influencer. That is not what is going to pay my bills, right? I am focused on me getting clients. You can I the when I even make posts, my posts don't even reach. I get less engagement, but I am getting the results I want. It's not that if I get high engagement to my post, is not good. It's good. It will increase my egos more that my post is going viral. But does it actually help me win clients? Viral posts are good, but then if your profile is bad and if you don't have funnels to actually funnel people to actually send message you, and how are you going to win clients, right? So what I'm saying is you need to actually, everything just need to stand out in a way that when people look at you or your profile, they take you seriously. When you send them connection requests and they see your profile, they be like, this person knows what he or she is talking about. When you communicate with them, they know that this person knows what she is talking about. And also, one thing you can do is use voice notes as well on LinkedIn, because you are a human being. Now that AI is in place, everybody is using AI to reply to messages. But if you send voice notes to people, they will know that okay, this person is actually talking. There's a human behind this account, right? So that is also one thing you should keep at the back of your mind. So when it comes to you standing out when it comes to your location, it should not be a problem, right? And let me give you one secret. People in those foreign countries, they're actually looking for freelancers in this side of the world to hire. Why? Because in their country, their minimum wage, they are not, for example, not like Nigeria now that minimum wage is very, I don't even want to talk about it. But because their country is standardized, their minimum wage, they are not able to afford most of the times the people from their country, because they have to pay plenty things that they're just they don't want to pay plenty things. But if they hire you from here, it reduces a lot of costs on their end. So they're always looking for people from this side of the world to hire. So in that if you're not going to where they are, they will not see you and they will not message you and they will not hire you, or they might not even want to book a call with you, right? So, yeah. And then what builds trust with global clients is communicate clearly, deliver when you say you will, and you have to be proactive and you have to show up consistently. You see this communicate clearly, it is very, very important. If you saw here this example that I showed you about how I won this client, was you could see the way I was communicating. When you're communicating, it may seem small, but it makes a very big difference. Typing correctly, using paragraphs, and letting it be, do it in a way that it is very, very nice and very, very appealing to the eye to start with. When you're talking and everything is clustered together, You may be making sense, but it is giving them too much. They might just be like, I'll read this thing later, and before they know, they forget to come back to you. Do you understand? So you need to actually know how to talk and talk very, very well, right? So that is one thing you should also know, keep at the back of your mind. So you need to communicate clearly, even in your messages, your emails, and everything. You need to communicate clearly. You need to deliver when you say you will. Don't say I'm going to deliver this task by 2 a.m. By 6 p.m. by 2 p.m. 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then by tomorrow 6 p.m. you're nowhere to be found. Even if you cannot deliver at that particular time, you have to send message across. Hey, I'm sorry I cannot deliver. So something happened. They will not kill you. They will not kill you because you have communicated ahead that something happened, and they can still give you the allowance, and make sure that you deliver over and above when you deliver that particular task because you have missed the deadline. But don't try to miss deadline, right? Because these are the things that keep clients, right? And then you also be proactive. Don't wait for people to tell you what to do. Always anticipate problems, anticipate challenges, right? So that they know that this person is with me, not me always trying to. People need people that can actually think, people that can actually understand what the business is about, not mindlessly doing tasks because I'm supposed to do this task. Okay, do this. They need people that can actually think and understand this type of tax and then get ahead with tax before they even mention it. This is what keeps you. This is what keeps client relationships, right? You understanding them and being proactive and just being human. Don't try to be overly professional because you're me. I talk with my clients on WhatsApp, and most of the times WhatsApp I send stickers. You see Akina Popo stickers, I send them. I try to, these are ways to keep clients. You get on. I send voice notes as well. In fact, if there, I love to, I'm a very playful person, so it shows even in my communications and all of that. And that's what I found out that is what helps me to keep my clients, right? And then you also need to show up consistently, right? Because you're trying to stand out. If you do off and on, off and on, off and on, it might not help you, right? It might not help you. So you have to actually, it takes a lot of work. It takes work. It's work, but you have to do it if you want results. I've not been posting on my LinkedIn for quite some time, for 2 weeks now, but that is because I'm not looking for a client at the moment. Right? Of course, it needs updating, but I've been no matter I cannot there's no how I'll disappear from LinkedIn, right? Because that is where I've been there consistently and I've been seeing results. So I will not just abandon it like that. I'm already making plans to actually put something by next week, right? So you actually need to be consistent. You have to show up, carry your business on your head. Don't look at what people are saying. They should go and be talking that one. So far, they are not paying you. If there were people that paying you for what they are, leave that aspect. But you get what I'm trying to say. Carry your business on your head, right? Don't be ashamed of it. Always talk about your business and all of that. If you go to let me just give you an example. Like my post, I always make posts. Um, so this one was me just posting about the program. Just hope this thing opens very, very fast. Shall you understand what I'm trying to say? Let me not waste too much time. So I was trying to say, carry your business on your head. Always make posts. Like now, this was one of the reviews I got. I posted it, right? I posted it on my LinkedIn. I did it in a way. Packaged it in a way and posted it. Another thing you should also have at the back of your mind is you need to package yourself. You need to, people, rate you based on how you package yourself. So if you're just doing anyhow, they will not take you seriously. Do you understand? So package yourself, right? So that is also one other thing. And then I hope I'm done with all the slides. Um, and then also the standard you set is what you'll be known for. Every client, every project, every delivery, that's how you build your reputation. So the way you do your work, that is what you're going to be known for. People are going to know you based on, you know, are you an excellent person? Do you deliver or do you over deliver? Do you Are you somebody they can count on? You need to be consistent in your delivery. Like you need to present, you need to be in a place where you need to show up as somebody that this person knows what he or she is doing, this person knows how to do this work, this person is an excellent person. That is the standard. You have to show up in a way that you want people to address you. I have somebody that referred me to a client just because of our communication and how I'm able to, I'm always, in fact, how I'm able to reply to the person's questions when we are chatting via DM. The person is not my client, though. The person is just somebody that I've been talking with on LinkedIn, but the person referred me to a job, right? So you have to have a very high standard and produce high quality and excellent work, because that is going to help you and your clients, keep your clients and your relationships and all of that. And that is what can even make you ask for more money, right? My client gives me bonus. I don't even ask for the bonus. He gives me bonus. Why? Because of I deliver excellent work all the time, all the time. And I work with, currently I have like multiple clients, and the the quality does not reduce because I have plenty of people that I'm servicing. It has to be excellent all round. Even my slide, you can notice that my slide is also excellent. So it's just like a way you have the standard you have set for yourself. You don't just fall below that. So anything you're doing has to be come out as excellent, right? Because that is what is going to help you, right? So if we're to recap, we're talking about your LinkedIn profile. It has to work for you. It like your first point of contact. Anybody that comes to your profile and they don't take you seriously, and your profile is not hitting the point, they will not take you seriously, right? And then you have to talk about, you have to show results, not talking about the tools, and then I showed you an example of how I use AI to help improve my efficiency and my task, and then you building credibility in how you show up. I showed you some things about, my reviews and my recommendations and stuff like that. So I think that is where I would draw the curtain. I don't know if I've been able to hit the point. So yeah, Adebola, are you still here?
Yes, I'm with you. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to believe that you got value. Are we still here? Are we still here? Are we still here? I want to believe that we all got value. If you've been in my class one way or the other, you will see you will see that there are a lot of things that I actually say that he also mentioned. There are a whole lot of things. One of it is the fact that I don't like working with Nigerians. In fact, I've never worked with a Nigerian before, and that was part of how I positioned myself how I position myself. And there were some things he also mentioned that the previous speakers, you know, spoke about. The part where you have to communicate clearly, the part where you have to, when you are delivering your tasks, that's to be excellent. Don't go lesser than that. It has to be excellent. Go over and beyond. Then he also mentioned you being proactive, like you're not just sitting down and waiting for, be proactive, be proactive. So right now we'll be going into the question and answer session. So if you have any question, please drop it. Emmanuel is saying, I just sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. Okay. Yes, it was an excellent session. So please let's drop our questions. One of the questions that someone asked when you were taking the class was, you mentioned the project feature in
Yeah.
on ChatGPT. So the person is asking if it is free. Is it on like
Yes.
is it on the free mode?
Yes, so the project feature is free, but then
Yeah.
let me just show my screen again. The project feature is free, but then you can only upload up to 5 sources. So whenever you're on ChatGPT, can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen now.
Okay, so this is the project feature. So you can, it's free. I'm using this particular account is a free ChatGPT account, so it's free. You can actually use it, but you're only limited to 5 uploads here. You can only upload 5 things here as your sources, right? So it's free. You can create new projects. So I don't know if it has been rolled out to everybody, but my own I can see project. Of course, everybody should have it, but it's here, and you can create projects for any type of thing, so that the AI is giving you responses based on that particular thing you're talking about, and it has places where it can draw out the information or give you answers based on. So yeah, it's free, and then but you're only limited to 5 uploads. You cannot upload more than
Five
5 things here.
uploads. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Emmanuel, did you get that? Did you get that? I have another question, and it says, in your experience, what common mistakes prevent talented Africans, or let's just say Nigerian freelancers, from attracting international clients? I think he has mentioned it, but let him go over it again. Did you get the question?
Yes, so the mistake that people make from attracting international clients is one of the mistakes is you are not where you're supposed to be, right? So you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not where they hang out. And also, your profile is not speaking to them, right? Your profile is bad. Put it like that. Your profile is bad. They can hire anybody. It's not about your look. They can hire anybody, but you just need to present yourself in a way that is hireable, or somebody that they think that they can work with, right? So if your profile is bad to start with, they will not take you seriously. If you're not showing up as somebody that knows what he or she is doing, they will not hire you. So it's not about you being in Nigeria or whatever, whatever. They can hire anybody, but it depends on the way you present yourself, right? And you don't need to present yourself as somebody that is small. You need to present yourself as somebody that is a professional. You're a service provider, you render services, and they are there to also hire you. Your clients have clients. They have clients that they work with, right? And they present themselves
Yeah.
as out to them. So you coming to work with the client, you also need to present yourself as a service provider, and you have to work that way, right? Don't think of yourself as small, or this is my oga. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. This one, that one. Don't. I don't I don't like doing it. I call them by their name because, like I said, I'm a service provider, so I know where I stand, and I know who I am. So you have to treat me that way. That also improves your value. If they just see that, if they people read you, people read people, if you come to them and the way you're talking with them, they will feel like, they will think about, once you have communicated with them 2 or 3 times, they will be able to, that is where they will not want to take advantage. If they wanted to pay you some amount of money, they will not come and reduce it, because they feel like this person still doesn't know what he or she's doing, and they want to take advantage. Do you understand?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering that question. So another question is, what is the name of the transcribing tool you used on that site?
It depends. There are tools. There are different tools for everything. I just found out that particular one. I don't even know the name. Let me go and check, because
Okay.
I need
Yeah.
it helped. It just helped me. It just helped me. Something that just helped me to transcribe that thing. It's transcribe audio to text. It's a Chrome extension, so you can check out. So that tool
Yeah.
is not that you're going to be using it for everything, but it just helped me to do that particular task. So I wanted to transcribe. I wanted to get transcripts, right, of a particular audio, and I just went and I searched for a Chrome extension that can help me to do that, and I used it. I don't even know the name. The name is transcribe audio to text, so you can check
Okay.
for
Is
others
it is
depending on
it
the type of
free?
task.
Some
Yes,
someone is
it's
asking that
free.
is it free? It's free.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
So
free.
you got
It
that.
is free, but it is limited to I think 3 responses. You can use 11 labs 11 labs. to help
Yeah.
you get more transcription. So 11 Labs can help you get more audio to text. But in 11 Labs, you have to download and upload the video directly. You don't, that one does not record directly. You have to upload the audio directly on 11 Labs and it transcribes for you with speaker timestamps and all of that. But that particular one, you can record directly and it gives you the transcript directly without you uploading. Or you can still upload, but you can still record. So, but that particular one is just three. But 11 labs, I think you can do as many as you want.
All right, thank you so much. I hope we're paying close attention to all of the AI tools he's mentioning and the tools generally. So someone is saying that there is this thing about consistently posting help to create visibility. So are you saying we can still gain visibility without posting consistently?
Yeah, yes, and I can explain that why. Because you don't just get clients by posting. Posting is
Hmm.
just one of them. There are many moving parts. There are many moving parts on LinkedIn. For you to get a client, there are many moving parts. Posting is just one of them. Posting is just showing, I don't open shop today again. Oh, this is my shop, but then you can send connection requests to people. You can set up conversations in the DM. So you can add posting to it. Of course, posting will be showing you up in the timeline often. It's good to have consistent posting, right? But then aside that, take your business to them, take what you're offering to them, right? Don't just rely on you waiting for people to come through from your post. You have to actually take it to them, right? So um, go on where they post, go to their post and leave comments. Write supportive comments on their posts, right? So because as you're writing as you're making comments, more people are seeing you and what you do, right? And then also send DMs, send connection requests. But then of course you don't just go and be sending any connection. There are strategies to send connection requests that people can actually open. People will ghost you. They have ghosted me. That is business. But you have to do it. You have to do it in a way that if they ghost you, you will learn. You will learn how to do some things better. So don't think that it's easy. It is easy, but it is hard, but it is easy. There are two. You understand what I mean? It is hard, but it is easy. But it needs for you to be consistent to do it every time, because the more you do it, the more you gain. All the things I know about business, I knew all of them. Everything about all the things I know, I knew all of them by being in the field and soaking myself there. Like I was deep inside, right? So it was just there and knowing everything that was there and trying out things, doing things, looking at things that people were doing and implementing it on my own account and on my own profile. So that was how I was able to be at the level where I am.
All right, yeah. So to actually corroborate with what is said, you know that there are some times that life happens. Life happens, not that something bad happened to you, but probably you know, you are occupied with something. Okay, so for me now, my experience, my example, when I got pregnant, I could not keep up. I could not keep up. I could not post. I could not do all of those things. And guess what? I was still kind of getting DMs. I was still getting DMs majorly from people. So that was where I got to know that this LinkedIn thing is not really about posting every day. You are going to do what works for you, but then with the right strategy, you get. So do we have more questions? More questions, please. Let me check. Let me check. So this person is asking that what unique advantage do African freelancers and virtual assistants, okay, let's just streamline it to virtual assistants, currently have in the global remote work market? What unique advantage?
I wouldn't say there's a unique advantage, but what I would say is, people can actually, yeah, you are somebody that they can actually pay. Do you understand? Remember, I said something about they may not want to work with people from their national because they're not able to afford them, but because you are here, they can pay you, that amount that you're asking, and they will not have any issue with. issue with it. Do you understand? So the unique advantage, it comes down to you. When it comes to other aspects, it comes down to you. What is your own unique advantage among the competition? So don't just generalize it as African VAs. You understand? Like I said, your location should not be your limitation. So you should not even be thinking as an African VA to even start with, right? Think of yourself as a service professional that delivers service to global clients, right? So don't be
Thank you.
thinking about African VA. Remove that thing from your mind. You understand? Think global. Think global because there's life outside of Africa. Do you understand? My
Yeah,
client is my client is telling me that I should do fast and come to the UK for vacation. I tell am say, pay me money, make I use buy flight ticket. Do you understand? So don't think as an African VA. Don't give yourself that tag African VA. Just think of yourself as a service pro. Even my business name is Virtual Hands Global. Do you understand? It has global in it because I am thinking global. Right? So always think of yourself as a service professional, right, that delivers work, quality work. But if they ask
yeah,
you, so where do you base? I base in Nigeria. Do you understand?
yeah.
So
All right,
that-
thank you so much. There is life outside Africa. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. So I want to believe that we do not have more questions. Is that it? Think global. Yes, yes. We don't have more questions. So okay, let me check. No more questions. All right, all right. Thank you so much, so Madina. It's so I'm so happy I get to do this actually. Thank you so much. And right now I'm already feeling somehow because I will now start all of them they will start, they now have that access to what I used to go and stalk and so you people you have to pay me for giving you this gold mine. You actually have to pay me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
you're welcome.
obliging to do this with us. Yeah. So can you just give us like a final word, like advice? Yeah.
Final word or advice. What I will say it and say it over and over again. You can work with anybody from anywhere if you package yourself right, and if you're excellent, and if you carry your market on your head, not just carry your market on your head, carry your market on your head where people that can actually buy that market is, right? So that is what you should be. And then also be consistent. Don't just do off and on. You might start out and it's looking like something is not working. You're talking to the wind, but the result you get tomorrow or next week is actually a compound of all the activities you do today, right? So for you to get results tomorrow, you have to do some deep things. You have to do some things today because it's tomorrow that something will happen. So you have to be consistent. You have to show up, and as you're showing up, you're excellent, and you're committed to doing it. If you want a change, you know what you will do. If a fire is burning and they tie your leg somewhere, you find different things to use and to remove that thing that you use to tie your leg so you can get out of that room. So it depends on your commitment and how you're committed to actually making a change for yourself and winning that client that you want to win.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you can actually leave the car. So let's say thank you to our speaker. I want to say thank you so much, Dina, in the live chat. Yeah. Let's keep it coming. Thank you. Let's keep it coming. I'm not getting any response from us. Oh. Yeah. It will still be on the live chat though. So keep it coming. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You would agree with me that each of the session from day one to day two and today day three adds his own peculiarity. All of the speakers came correct, they came ready for us. So I want to plead with you to actually go through all of these sessions over and over and over. It will do you so much good. It will do you so much good. Yeah. So we have come to the end of the Growth Summit first edition. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I actually get to do this with you all. I'm really, really, really happy. I remember when I had the vision um to launch this, and it was just basically wanting space for VAs across the and even in Africa, where we can come together, learn together, grow together, and see what happens in the next few years of our lives. Yeah. And this summit, we've talked about AI as not it's not something you should fear, but it is a tool that should actually work for you. It is a tool that should work for you. We learned how we can redesign our services into high value premium offers. Of course, high AI services. And today we closed by understanding exactly how to show up and stand out to global clients. One thing that is really, really sticking, and I believe it should stick with you as well, is the fact that you should not see yourself as, oh, because I am in Nigeria, I'm in Nigerian VA. Think global. That is the goal. Think global. Think global. Think global. So to our incredible speakers, from Marvelous to Blessing to Soma, we say thank you for showing up and pouring out so generously. And to every single one of you, I want you to celebrate yourself in the live chat right now. Celebrate yourself for showing up for 3 days. 3 days. 3 days. Take all of your flowers. Oya, 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 celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself, oh. Oya now, guys. Celebrate yourself. You guys did amazingly well. You guys did amazingly well. Amazingly well. Amazingly well. Celebrate yourself. I'm just seeing just two. No now. Celebrate yourself. Yeah, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. You are the reason this summit exists. And your hunger for growth is what has fueled everything that I have done. Yeah, 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 yeah. So don't let these 3 days just be a good memory. Go back to the notes, go back to the live recording, sit down, listen to it over and over, over and over. Pick one thing you learn and implement it this coming week. So today is Saturday already. So by next week, pick one thing that you learned, implement it, update your service offerings, start exploring those AI tools. Start exploring them. Pick one after the other and show up differently for your clients. So the Growth Summit wasn't just an event, it's a turning point, and I cannot wait to see what you all build from here. Mind you, this is not a goodbye. This is not a goodbye, oh. Yeah, this is just the beginning. In fact, see you at Growth Summit 2.0. All right, so till I show in your faces again, of course, we still have the group in the coming weeks, while you'll be seeing a whole lot of developments. Please make sure you engage, make sure you actually um make use of that group to your advantage. Make use of that group to your advantage. Also, if you would love to be mentored, my DM is open. You can, send a DM and we'll pick it from there. Or if it is that you would love to learn, maybe you are a newbie, there were actually some aspiring VAs that registered. You would love to actually learn what the industry is really about, what and what you should do, what you should not do. You can also enroll in my um 31 days training. You can send a DM to any of the admins on the attendees group. You would be redirected to the right portals. So bye for now. Yeah, your certificates. Watch out for your certificates. Latest by this week, you all should get your certificate of attendance. All right. See you guys. Bye.